mosque in France, and this is not a question of visibility in Western world. This is a question of common will to live together according to, let's say,
Algeria during the whole 19th century. Don't tell me that this is the first time you see niqab. There were niqab
Tariq,
in Algeria under the authority of France. So you are not discovering it now. You are using it.
Tariq, I'm going to stop you for 1 second. Just let him finish.
Tariq, keep cool, Tariq. We have a long way to go, so keep cool. I would say that first of all, we have many mosques in France. Freedom of religion is absolutely admitted in our country. And as you have said in front of the French parliamentary mission where you came to, you said very clearly that 7 schools in Islam forbid this kind of clothing. First of all, I am not a priest. I am not an imam. I am not a rabbin, and I am implementing the French law on every French citizen.
All right, Jacques, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to have to stop you there because there are a lot of people here who want to speak as well. Ruby, you're one of them, I know, and you're Australian Lebanese. You grew up in a Muslim family. You say you find the burqa confronting, and I want to get on to this idea of it being confronting. Why?
A couple of reasons. First of all, the initial reaction, it is off-putting. I can see you, you can't see me. It makes me feel like I'm on the back foot, and I can understand that this is probably something that a lot of Westerners or Australians who are not from a Lebanese or a Muslim background would feel. And the reason I said I find it confronting as someone who grew up as a Muslim is that this is, even within Islam, is a contentious issue about the burqa, whether it is actually a part of the religion or whether it's a cultural relic.
And how do you see it?
I don't think it's necessarily part of the religion. I think it is a cultural symbol, a cultural practice that was used to keep women out of public life, and I think it's been used it's under the excuse of religion to continue to keep women in a certain position.
And you're very nervous about saying that, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, when you come from a wall, it's always hard to talk about the culture that you're from. Especially with Islam, it's a very sensitive subject, and I don't want to be seen to adding to the problems of Islam in the West.
Do you see it as oppressing women, though, in the way that Jacques Miar is describing?
I do. I think it's not necessarily in that they've been physically forced to wear it. I think possibly the reasons that they're given, the women that choose to wear it, I think they've been misled into thinking that it's a necessarily part of their religion when it's actually not.
Amina?
First of all, it's not a cultural thing at all.
Yes,
it is a religious thing. If you study the Quran and the Sunnah and the life of the Prophet and his wives, you will find that they wore it. It's clearly in all the authentic books of hadith, it's there. So it's not a cultural thing, it is an Islamic thing. And secondly, why the need for you and Tom and Dick and Harry and everybody else to see my face? It's none of your business. What I look like is my business. Why do you have to see what I look like?
I'm not saying I have to see your face. I was just saying that this is my reaction to it. I'm not saying to insult you with it. She's asked me how I felt, and that was just my... saying it feels like it puts me on the back foot. And I was going to say that's my initial reaction. But and that's something I try to work through and to understand why you wear it. My intellectual reaction is that as a woman and as a feminist, I'm very well aware of how women have been oppressed and segregated for thousands of years.
Well, we have not been oppressed. Bristle
at the fact that in the 21st century Australia, women are still being kept out of public life. And I'm sorry, when you're wearing a burqa, you cannot contribute to society as much as you can without it.
I pay my taxes, I work, I study. What more?
Now, not everyone who's not wearing the burqa is actually contributing to the society.
I understand that.
Okay, that's very important.
Okay,
a lot of them could be getting...
One at a time, yes.
A lot of them could be getting oppressed, even not wearing a burqa, and it's got nothing to do with the burqa. When they've picked it themselves to wear it or not, that's their choice.
I understand
Sibel,
that.
I'll come to you
that's just one way women are oppressed. I'm not saying that that's the only way. It's one way.
All right, Sheikh Omran, I want to bring you in here because you're the leader of an Islamic fundamentalist movement in Victoria. How central do you think the burqa and the niqab are to being a Muslim woman?
First, I am not in Victoria, I am in Australia. Secondly, really, as Mr. Ramadan or Brother Ramadan talked about, this issue been for centuries. The European in particular, maybe Australians are a little bit unaware of it, but the European, they came to our countries, occupied our countries for hundreds of years. We mixed with them for centuries. They know that is not a new matter anyhow.
Okay, but how central is it? How central is it, wearing a niqab or a burqa, to being a Muslim woman?
Let me...
I'm just trying to get you to answer the question.
Yeah, but not in the way, again. We are using either my way or the highway. We can't do that. We, as Australians, I would say, come together in some values. And one of the values we come to accept each other as we are. We don't have to be following the tail of Europe. We are so far from Europe anyhow. Even if some of us, their ancestors are European, but we are not European anymore. We are Australians, and we have our identity, and we should build our country according to that identity.
So is it okay for
French or to
so is it okay though
else?
for, forget about the ban for a moment, is it okay for Muslim women to wear whatever they like?
Of course, it is their choice, and they should answer that, not me. But Islamically, there is a practice of code for everything. Even forget Islam now, even for the Australian in general, or even the European, Mr. French talking about equality of the man and the woman. Where is this equality? I never see a president French woman. I didn't see a president United States woman. I didn't see even Australian. This is first time it happened.
There are a few women in the French cabinet, I think. But anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. Before we go any further,
equality they talking
all right. But Corey, just quickly.
Let's clear up a couple of things. The earliest reference to a facial veil was 4 centuries before Islam came about. It is a cultural thing designed to protect people's faces from the elements. The fact that the Sheikh omits to discuss or disclose whether it's a compulsion under Islam suggests that, you know, he's not being straight with us. Over 1.5 billion Muslims probably don't wear it, ever. So why all of a sudden are we making exceptions for our security and our cultural practices in this country for a tiny subset of people who are adhering to a fundamentalist, an extreme fundamentalist version of a religion?
Okay, Sibel, you...
No, it's not true. And don't twist the matter about... Look,
it predates Islam by 4 centuries.
I don't allow you or anyone else to talk about our Islam with so much ignorance. If you want to talk about what you know properly.
What I know is what you were quoted on Lateline as saying, that Muslims weren't involved in the September 11 attacks. I know that. Now, do you still believe that?
All right, let's not go there. We're talking about... Okay, wait, everybody. Sibel, I'd like you... Excuse me, gentlemen. I'd like to ask this lady over here to take part. I'd like to ask this... Sheikh Omran, I would like to ask Sibel a question. Sibel, you're 28. You wear the niqab where we can see your eyes. When did you start to wear it and why?
Okay, basically I decided to wear it at the age of 17. And I'd just like to make it clear that this was prior to getting married. So there wasn't any husband or man involved in my life to help me decide. I chose to wear the niqab at the age of 17. Through my journey into Islam, learning about Islam, I decided that I wanted to take that extra step to cover my face. I do not believe that it is an obligation. I don't think it is compulsory. I think it is a choice. I have chosen to wear it. Just as how I chose to put it on, I will choose when I would like to take it off. I'm not going to have somebody tell me when to wear it and when not to wear it.
Okay,
despite the fact that my family was opposed and against me wearing the niqab, I still was adamant at that time, and I wasn't going to allow anybody to tell me what to do. So I was adamant, I was passionate about it, and I was going to do it, regardless of what family said.
You say it gives you freedom. What do you mean it gives you freedom? How does it give you freedom? Yeah.
What about in a court of law? You've got two cases now, one before in Western Australia.
Yeah, we're going to get on to security in a moment. I want to continue to talk to Sibel about her choice.
To just quickly answer your question, for court purposes, we can take it off. So that's just very quick.
Okay, we're ranging across a whole range of them. Could we just wait a moment, Sheikh Omran, please, and let Sibel finish speaking? Let Sibel finish speaking.
Could I just also...
Sibel, I want to find out how it gives you freedom. I want to know what you mean when you say it gives you freedom.
Well, first of all, it gives me freedom because it is my choice to dress as I want to dress. I am not being dictated, or I'm not being forced or pressured to look a certain way to impress society or to impress certain people. I dress the way I decide and I choose to dress. So it gives me freedom in that sense that this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. So that is my freedom. I want to do it and I'm going to do it regardless.
OK, Jacques Miard, just very quickly, are you taking away freedom of choice here? You talk about liberty.
I would like to intervene in the... Yes, I would like to intervene in this question of free choice. We had a lot of Muslim women coming to the information mission saying to us that this is a false argument. Why? Because the family pressure, the brotherhood, the father, the husband, the social pressure in certain Muslim circles are very high, and those women are not free. It may be that one, let's say, out of 10 women will wear it, let's say, from their own choice. Then I will say something. How is it that this behavior is shocking us? Is the individual choice enough to, let's say, to permit such practice? If I want to go naked in the streets, I think I will be arrested and sent me back home. So there are certain common rules to abide in our country. That means you go free face, and this is our rule. So the question of free choice stops where the law begins.
OK, I know a lot of people want to take this up. We have to go to a commercial break. I'll come back to you, Amina. And coming up, we'll talk more about the issue the gentleman over here raised, the burqa and security. That's next on Insight.